Actually, ngithanda ukukhuluma yazi ngithanda ukukhuluma. Stress. Ngithi hi ngizotrenda. I want to be a DJ. Oh, you should have seen his face. And I remember I told my mom and I was like, bruh, I want to be a DJ. And her being her, she was like, "Oh, that's a good idea. You should go for it, girl. Yay!" And then
Yeah.
I'm like, yes.
I remember Mariam taught us how to do I think it's like the samba. You coming was a game changer because
He said,
Ken,
"You get it, eh? You get it. You
go
get it.
there, go there,
I
go,
get
go, go. Share, kamsamnida.
The angels bow down at the thought of you. The darkness gives way to the light for you. The price that you pay gives us life brand new. Hosanna forever, we worship you. Hosanna forever, we worship you.
Hey,
it."
friends. Okay, so today I have a good friend of mine, DJ Kat. Kat and I first met in Korea. As she was arriving into the country, I was sort of exiting, but she's just an amazing person that you meet and immediately just connect with. So I'm excited to have her here. Hopefully, we'll have a conversation around. She's an amazing DJ, so just talk about her passion and just her craft in DJing. Kat, welcome and thank you for being here.
Thank you, and thank you for hosting me.
Thank you for agreeing. So okay. Um, Before I started the YouTube channel, so the channel is maybe 6 weeks old. Before I started it, I had a list of people, so I already knew the vision. I sort of was like, okay, I want to start a YouTube channel. Two focuses: one, finances; two, which is mostly for people. It's for other people watching, and then the second part is something that was selfish. It was genuinely for me because I enjoy having conversations like these with friends. I enjoy this. It's really fulfilling for me. And so in thinking about that, I sort of wrote down a list of people that I wanted to invite once the podcast had started, and you were hands down on that list. So thank you for being here.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm just so glad that I'm gonna be part of the growth of your podcast, and also with you starting the whole idea, it was kind of interesting
Mhm.
because you're touching base on the most
Mhm.
important part that we feel like we lack, most of us, most especially because let me speak for myself. Where I come
Mhm.
from, financial education, it's not something that I was exposed to. It's something that I had to learn myself as I grow. And I'm still learning. I'm still learning. But
Mhm.
yeah, and
Mhm.
hopefully as time goes on, your channel is gonna
Mhm.
expose me to things that I don't know and things that I need clarity on. But overall, congratulations.
감사합니다.
감사합니다.
Okay, Kat, who is she? And this prefix that comes before your name, how does that come about? DJ Kat.
Okay, so my full names are Katleho Joy Major. I
Mm.
was born in Soweto, but grew up in Limpopo in Kiani. So I am a multicultural person because I grew up in a household where we speak Sesotho, Sezulu, Xitsonga, and also Chivenda, and a little bit of English here and there. So I grew up in Guyana. Actually, I was born in Soweto in Meadowlands, and then moved from Meadowlands, went to Diepkloof, and then after my grandmother passed away, my granddad decided that He wants to raise us, me and my little brother. And then that's when Guyana came about. All right.
Mm.
And then growing up, um, at home, they love music. Like my maternal side, they love music. My grandmother, my uncles, my mom. So I was actually exposed to a lot of music growing up before I could move to Guyana. So with that, I started developing interest in like, good music, more especially house music, because, places like Johannesburg, Soweto, Pretoria, it's all about house. You never really exposed to like traditional music. And then from
Mm.
there, fast forward, I went to high school. When I went to high school, we were supposed to go for a career exhibition, and one of my favorite late teachers asked us, "What do you want to be when you finish grade 12? What do you want to do when you go to varsity?" Oh, Gosian. I could hear them students naming big names, psychologist, hey, doctor, I want to be a police officer. I'm sitting there and I'm like, hey guys, I'm in a probably a wrong space here because nobody is
Mm.
touching the topic that I want to become. So, and then he asked me, and I was like, I want to be a DJ. Oh, you should have seen his face. He was like, what? You can't study science and become a DJ. I'm like, okay. And then that kind of like made me want to question if I want to do this or not. But all the time I was exposed to radio, like when I never studied without turning on the radio. So I used to turn on the radio listening to new songs all the time, and I was like, mm-mm. Mm-mm. Even if I don't do this as a career, somewhere somehow in my life I'm gonna do it. That time I was during was it grade 10 or 11? Between the two. And then my teacher's like, no, you can't be studying science and want to become a DJ. That's a waste of your time and our energy and your energy. And I was like, okay, so what do you think must I do? He was like, um, try something in science, so something that's gonna give you stability. But I was like, what if this is gonna give me stability? He was like, nah, music is not stable. It's something that changes all the time. So you need something to lean on. And I was like, no ways. I'm not gonna listen to you. You did whatever you wanted to do at your own time. This is my time to shine, you know? So, and then fast forward to a year later, I went to varsity, and then that's when I.
Can I
Okay,
interject quickly?
yeah,
Yo, I'm sorry. So I think it's amazing in grade 10. So how old are you? You're about 16, right?
I was 15.
15.
Mhm.
To be able to have the resilience, at least mentally. So I don't know if you actually told your teacher that I'm gonna do this, but to have the resilience to know that your teacher followed their path, but you sort of had your own path and journey that was
Mhm.
leading you towards you were drawn to DJing. Where did that resilience come from? That mindset to say, hey, I know I'm drawn to this. This is who I am, and this is what is
Mhm.
calling to me. This is what's speaking to me.
Actually, he was a very cool guy. He was a very open, honest guy. One person that you'd literally like be honest with. So I remember when he was asking everybody in the class, and I was like, it was kind of like a back and forth type of thing that I want to do this, you know? He was like, no, but you cannot do that. But I was like, you science teacher, Mazu, so why can I not be, myself? But to him, I don't think he really took me seriously because he was like, probably you're joking, or it's just a phase. You'll once you in grade 12, you discover something. But I myself, I knew because I remember when I was in grade 9. This one, it's the highlight because when I was in grade 9, that's when I was starting to listen to Black Coffee a lot, like a lot. And I remember I told my mom, and I was like, bruh, I want to be a DJ. And her being her, she was like, oh, that's a good idea. You should go for it, girl. Yay. Do it. You see. So me being in grade 9 and my mom supporting my idea of me wanting to be a DJ, it kind of like gave me a lot of confidence that whenever someone tries to, I don't know whether should I say kill the idea or kill the dream, in the back of
Mhm.
my mind, I was like, no, but my mom said it's a good thing. My mom said it's a good thing. And how do I feel about it every time I speak about it? And I realized that, man, this thing gives me so much joy. So it's either I'm gonna do it professionally or somewhere in between the years of my life, I'll have a way of like squeezing it in just to fill the void of me wanting to be this person, but I cannot be because of one, two, three, four. So yeah, he was actually kind of a cool guy. He was like, nah, but you cannot do that. Go think about it. Probably you're gonna come up with something. And yeah, but he didn't entirely make me feel bad about it. It was just a concern, like, with someone who doesn't have a background knowledge about something, it's easier for them to be concerned because they're not really entirely exposed to that field. So for him, I think it came out from a place of concern that, you're doing well in science, so I don't expect you to be doing anything less than scientific stuff, medicine, being a doctor, something in those fields. And I was like, okay, I'll think about it.
Wow, that is amazing. Wait, so your mom was very sort of like important in supporting your passion and desire for DJing. Who
Yes.
else do you credit in addition to your mom's sort of contribution?
Okay, I think let me like okay, right, let me say this. Above everything else, I feel like I should give credit to God, like for the fact that the seed was already planted in me. The only thing that was left out of me is for me to water the seed. He already gave me the idea that when you need to cook music. So I'd say I'd give it to him, and also my grandmother, my maternal grandmother. She was like, hayi uyayithanda ntombazana, uyayithanda le nto iyenze.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ngiyoyenza. So my grandmother, my mom, and my late uncle were kind of like the pushing, I don't know, the pushing wind towards that direction. So yeah, I literally give credit to them.
Wow, that's amazing. So your grandmother, grandfather, and your
Nope.
mom.
My grandmother, my late uncle, and my mom.
Ah, okay. Amazing. That's amazing. Wow. I'm so glad you had those influences. And I think, like, as the interview progresses, like, even people who are watching will realize the kind of passion that you have for DJing. And also, maybe if with your permission, um, I'll request maybe a video or a video that I took of you DJing, and then
Okay.
I'll add at the end of this interview just to show people how in your element you are. Like when you're DJing, it's so smooth, it's flawless, it's just like you're naturally like a cool person, a very like charismatic person, but when you're DJing, it's like you are in a different state. With flow, nje, yonke into iyaflowa nje, yonke into iyaflowa, yonke into iyaflowa.
Thank you. But also, again, can I please add on that the flow
Yeah.
and everything? I feel like the flow also comes from the support system in that venue. Like if we're in a space and then
Mm.
I DJ and then I don't see my people doing the things, I'm like, guys, am I doing it wrong? But also when I
Mm.
get hypes from people who are close to me and people maybe who came to support me, for example, thank you so much. You left Korea and you saw a piece of me. It
Mm.
kind of like gave me like so much push that, oh, okay, I'm doing something right. For me, DJing, it's not about me standing behind the decks and playing the latest trending songs, but it's also about me taking you back to time where things were still good, where you're still buying bread, ngesayibopho, having to relive your childhood memories and thinking of how happy you were in that time. It kind of gives me joy. Most of the times, the songs that I prefer playing are the songs that kind of like revive old memories. And when I see people doing that and dancing to that, I'm like, okay, that's good.
Man, and you certainly do that. I remember, I think that when I saw you playing, so it was I went with myself, it was my partner Ubuhle,
Mm-hmm.
it was Usi, and I
Mm-hmm.
think Sasha as well.
And
I
Gina,
think, and Trina, yes, Trina.
yes,
Was
the
Amu there?
Miriam.
And
And Miriam, I don't know if you remember her, but there was Miriam.
oh, I remember Mariam. Mariam taught us how to do I think it's like the samba.
Ah, that one. Yeah, she was teaching her. She was actually teaching us rather how to
Mm.
dance in her culture, and it's kind of like interesting because people like Sasha and Miriam, they are from different. They are from the different side of the world, and for them to be able to come into our world and blend in and not feel excluded, it was a very good thing to see. Yeah.
It was beautiful. Wait, so just for people watching, Sasha is a friend of ours from America, and Umariam is from America as well. But her
Is she
okay,
from?
okay.
I think she's
Let
from
me shut up and
England.
let Kat do the talking.
I think she's from England, somewhere around Europe. Yeah. Mm.
So, was she raised in England, but originally from? I think she's got either Pakistan heritage or
Mm.
Pakistan heritage, right?
Yes. Yes.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, I at least remembered that.
Okay. So can I please ask you something, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So you've been in Korea, like you've been in Jeju for quite some time. What was how was your reaction when you heard that there's someone coming to play South African music? What was your reaction? What came into your mind at that point in time?
I think you coming was a game changer because so before you came, yeah, there was Island Soul, and I think it was one of the few places where you could go request South African music and you could
Mhm.
vibe, and just like you said, it just takes you back home. I think what some people who haven't lived abroad might not understand is how much you miss home when you're abroad, and how you
Mhm.
just appreciate the smallest things. Hearing a song from back home, going to a South African restaurant. We literally travel uh, an hour's flight away just to go eat at a South African restaurant in Itaewon.
When you're craving the pap and the wors and the chakalaka, you have to.
and the and the chakalaka.
You just have to. There's no way.
So when you came and we literally heard an entire set played by a South African, and it's like everything from Amapiano to taking us back to. I think you played Sister Bettina on that night. I might be mistaken,
Mhm.
or you might have played another popular song. But I remember there's a song that you played, and we just went crazy because as South Africans, it just collectively took us back there.
Mhm.
So yeah, you coming was just, it felt like home coming to Korea, literally.
I'm glad. I'm glad I had to do that before you and your partner left. But I'm also very grateful because it was not an easy journey coming here, but also having to meet people, even if for a short space of time, who you can actually have something to tell about them, a good thing to say about them. It's actually good. I'm actually
Nah,
grateful. Yeah, yeah,
nah.
yeah,
Grateful to have connected with you, Kat.
yeah.
Grateful. Okay, so I sort of interjected. So you told us about your childhood, you told us about high school, and you were about to tell us about your university sort of like career.
Ah, okay, yeah. So I'd say university, it's the one that launched DJ Cat, right? Before we go there, you know what's okay? Let me just not cut the story. Let me go straight to the point. So when I went to
Mm.
varsity in 2016, I decided that no, man, I want to do something in relations to media and entertainment. Because growing up, I always wanted to be a presenter. Somehow I felt like I'll be some way presenting live amp because that was my favorite show. Also, it exposes me to music and also allows me to present. So I was like, I maybe one day I'm gonna be a TV presenter. Maybe I'll be somewhere presenting live amp and stuff. So I went to varsity. I applied. Okay, my first option that I wanted to study, I wanted to become a physiotherapist. And then my second option
Mm.
was agricultural economics, right? And then media was the last thing. I was like, if it doesn't work out, let me just, because what stuck in my head was the voice of my teacher saying, you cannot study something that you're not sure whether you're going to be stable out of it. So I was like, okay, it means it's going to be one, two, or three. You see? So the first option, it was full. They were like, no, we can't take you. Second option, they were like, no, we cannot take you. And then I'm left with what? Communication and media studies. And I was like, oh, is this fate? Is this fate?
This
Yes,
fake. It
yes. And I was like, what? Okay. All right. And then they took me for communications and media studies. And then I actually enjoyed everything about it because I also love marketing and advertising. Basically, ngithanda ukukhuluma, yazi ngithanda ukukhuluma. Ay, ukukhuluma into zami. Lezo zithi ngizoba ey'bhedlela ngijova ngenzani bangisukile. That's not me, right? So I did communications and media studies, and then in that faculty I met amazing people. The first person that introduced me to DJing, it was a guy called Mpo Lostri Siale. So Mpo, we were very close with Mpo, and he was like, "Oh, Ndwana, you have a very good taste in music. I like music because all the time on WhatsApp I'd post about songs and songs." He was like, "Hi man, when do you have very good taste in music?" And that's when we started speaking about me wanting to become a DJ. He was like, "Ah." I was a DJ as well. He's from Pretoria. He was like, when I was in Pretoria, I used to DJ. And I was like, yeah, what am I gonna do? He was like, no, there's an app that you can actually download and practice. And I was like, Apple. Hi, 2016, there was this app that was trending. Everyone was like Black Coffee and the song of the time. It was called Cross DJ. I was like, that's so cool. And then he taught me this is how you play the song, this is how you sing, this you have to listen to the rhythm of the songs. I didn't sleep. The whole week bengila. Ngilove ngicofoza. Ngiyapressa. Ngiyaplaya. Ngiyaphosa. Hey, ngiyasinka. And then that's when I realized that no man. Yeah, this is what I want to do. And then Mpo introduced me to Tabang. Tabang, he was my best friend in varsity. We were very close. So Tabang was like, I heard Mpo saying that you want to be a DJ. And I've seen you quite some time playing with your phone and using that app. How about I show you the real thing? I was like, the real thing? What's the real thing? You're like, no,
Eh.
I'm going to show you like how to move around the pots. And then the guababa was like, gagang. I was like, I was like, nah, I don't think I'm ready. He was like, no, you're just practicing. Let's just practice. I'm going to show you how to calculate the beat, how to move the jog wheel. And I was like, Mfana, I'm not ready, you know? I need to be saying Petri cross DJ. DJ Lamis was a TEF. So I was like, I'm okay for now. And then 2017, and then I told Tabang, I was like, I'm fine. I think I'm okay now. I'm ready to learn. And then
So
he was
this
like,
is sorry, this is 2017.
yes, fast forward to 2017. And then he was like, okay, I'm going to teach you. And then we went to this other place in Turf. It's called Xperia. So in Xperia, Tabang knows a guy whose name is OZ, right? And mind you, this whole music and entertainment industry, it's very tricky when you don't know people. It's very hard for people to open up to you when they don't know anything about you. When I say me being a TEF, it was a fate. I still believe it so. Because the guy didn't even give us tough time. OZ was like, oh, it's cool, Ndwana. What's your name? And I'm like, Katleho. And then, what do you call yourself? What do I call myself? It was like, yeah, you need to have a stage name. We cannot just say Katleho. Hi, nine stress. Stress. Ngithi, hi, ngizotrenda. Ngizotrenda, hi. So now I have to think of names. I'm like, names. Okay, I was like, okay, let me not stress much about it. And then Tabang did the basic things: how to calculate your BPM, how to move the jog wheel, how to make sure that the crowd is engaged. Okay, and then I went to my apartment and I called my mom and I'm like, girl, I'm here mixing and doing. She was like, what? Really? Yeah. So I was like, now I'm stuck between finding a name, a good name. And she was like, hi, why must you find a good name? Just call yourself DJ Cat. I was like, she was like, yeah, just say you're Cat. I get your name Kikatleho, so just cut it and say DJ Cat. And that time, I was not really exposed to a lot of DJ Cats, and I was like, that's actually a very good name because in Turflop there's no DJ Cat, so I'm just gonna be the only DJ Cat there. How? And then that's how the name DJ Cat came about. And then I started having gigs around Teflop, and now radio stations. I'm being exposed to radio stations. I played at Radio Turf, and then yeah, other radio stations, SABC, blah blah blah. But yeah, that's how the whole story came about.
Look at you just brush through ABC like it's nothing. You interviews like it's nothing. That's massive.
And no, the thing is, I felt like maybe you're gonna ask me later, but let me not like go deep into it. So I was like, oh yeah, I did
My
radio
friend,
test and then ACB.
Kenna.
You get it, right? You get it. You
Go
get it.
there, go there,
I get it.
go,
I get it.
go.